Alright, my spring wire showed up, so I can test this out and see how it works. Actually, I've already replaced one right here, and it is working very well. That is the old wire, and then you can see the other wire next to it, the difference, and then there's noticeably more tension on this than this other switch, which is just flopping around. So I think I said before I might see about also doing some filing on these points to help out, but I'm happy with the results of this, and it should help alleviate the issues with this type of track, so that trains don't have as much issue going through the switches. Now to do a hell bunch more. Man, I don't know how many I got. I have a pretty good bit, considering it's easy track. I found this on Amazon. This is how it showed up packaged. I think this was shipped direct from China. This is 20 thousandths, and I'm upgrading it from supposedly that 13 thousandths. I hope this video works out for you, because I'm kind of making it on my phone at the moment because my laptop is acting up, which will take out being able to help with making a video and uploading it. I'll just have to kind of piece it together on this and then upload it. But alright, give me a sec. I'm gonna start working on more of these and get them done, so I can also then get into changing out more track and updating my layout and improving it for different things I've discovered since building this layout and getting it operational. Here's the inside of the Easy Track switches. I've pulled out the piece that holds the metal spring. I've pulled out the, where's it at? Old one. These look like they're just glued in. So basically, I'm putting glue on this and putting it back in place and then letting it dry, and leaving it out of the switch before I put it back in the switch. That way there's no risk of cross-contamination from super glue getting in here and messing something up. I think I'm using Gorilla Glue. We'll see how well that works. But it basically, inside this thing looks like it had some kind of super glue or whatnot to hold the other piece in. And you can see that bend in that just from where I grabbed it from my needle nose and just was able to pull it out to get it out. But that's all that is required to do this, so it's not too hard. It's just taking the time to do it, and too bad they didn't do it, or Bachmann's not doing it from the factory this way to improve the quality of these switches. So alright, I'm going to glue this one in, another one down. So after I get a switch upgraded, I'm also flipping it over and testing the throw manually, and then I got this set up to test it that way as well, just to make sure the electronics work for if I attach it to a decoder or a stationary decoder like the DS74. Like I've done in a previous video. But that also makes sure it works mechanically like it should, besides throwing it manually. But alright, give me a second, on to more switches. Good news and bad news. Good news is that looks good running on the layout, because that just came in. Broadway Limited. I got it matched up. But back to the switches. The bad news. It works. Works too damn good. I got this section here and the two crossovers over there done. And a couple extra switches. But that means bad news is I'm gonna have to move trains and start along this wall, and that'll probably put trains down for a little bit where I won't be able to run them because changing out the spring and redoing the track that I talked about in a previous video, where I'm gonna take that crossing out and or move it and extend it and other stuff. So, but changing out the spring is working really well so far. I did these and put them back in to test them with the locomotive running over them at a pretty good clip. Plus it gives me a chance to run this consist and new locomotive. I even threw both of those over there and didn't mean to, and the train went through there real fast and like a S-bend or whatever, and didn't have any trouble at all. So this is very, very promising about changing this spring out. So give me a sec and I'm getting back to it. Ooh, I got these switches upgraded with the spring steel. So now I'm going to put them back in. And I also redesigned that back there. I just gotta connect it back together after I get these switches back in, and more progress being made. So give me a sec. Alright, I got this area put back together, switches pulled, rearranged, new track set up. I got that back line going all the way down there like I wanted, and coming in to tying into a switch here. I wanted to have two back spurs back there, but the curve here for the main line is not allowing enough space to do that, and without pulling these and redoing this whole section, I can't get the two sidings back there like I want, but it's long enough. I got the two on this wall, and then I gotta go down there and tie it in how I want to on that end. But right now I'm repositioning trains to make room to be able to do this. But so far so good. Got it pretty much put back together. I'll have to go back and see where I need some feeders and little odd end stuff, but give me a sec and we'll get to that. Alright, I'm back. I was busy redoing the stationary decoders. I got one DS64 and a bunch of 74s, and since I pulled out switches, it gave me some free up addresses, including running a wire all the way to this switch here. And this is connected to a DS64, so I was able to give it its own address. I do have one switch in here that's acting up. I don't know if it's the connection or the turnout itself, but I got to thinking and I ended up making another mess. But I got this switch and that switch where they work together, and the back one, the 224, where it works with that one. So if I align it, that switch aligns with that one when it's thrown. And let's see. It does the same for that. So that proves with a bunch of Wagos and wiring, which is all that mess right there. I figured that out last night, saved that address, and made that work, or improved that to work better, so that I'm not having to worry about throwing that switch to go either way when it's lining up for these, which is nice. And I got another set to do down on that end, which I'm about to do, and then clean up. And that's freeing up 2 switch addresses. But I had to use a little bit more Wagos than I wanted. These big 3s were eating the wire coming off the switch. So I had some places I had to keep a single there so it wouldn't break it. I have some 4s that I don't really use. I think I'm going to use some of those on the other end to burn some of those up. But super excited about that. Because that just, I was going to have to, I had one switch down here that I was going to have to run a wire all the way down there to the next stationary decoder, which is, there's a, shoot, I don't know if you can see that. I'll go the other way. That bundle of wire hanging down is a DS74 that I set up and then have hooked in. So actually I have addresses down there now. Let's go down there. I just thought of that. So I got a bunch of switches here hooked up too yesterday, and I have a few more. I have one more DS74 I can put in. I'm gonna put it in here somewhere, and then I will have a lot of switches. I found a good deal on a DS64 that's on the way from eBay. I really like that, how they mount, so if you can see there, these got these little tabs for the screws to mount it somewhere. Those suck. The 64 has the holes through the body that is a lot better. And then the 64 allows you to use any address you want. Whereas the 74, it is the number plus 3. So if you dial a switch, or you set it for the first switch as 220, it's going to be 220, 21, 22, 23, like that. And that sucks. Anyway, give me a sec. More to do. Alright, I got the other ones wired up, and it works. So that saved me an address. You can see here, showing how I do it. So, the common and the wire for when you want to throw it has the these on there, and then to close just has a single because it's not controlling that Y turnout. So, but that's for the main line in the front, and then the main line in the back's wired the same, but for the opposite. So it has the common, and then has the wire going to the other way. Here's for that center switch. So one of these goes to the back switch, one goes to the front, and the 4 block is your common. So works like a champ. So alright, on to wiring some more stuff. Give me a sec. I'll pause with the wiring. I still have the 74, which I think I'm going to use for the yard over there. And the other reason I've paused is I have a 64 that I want to use over in this area, because it'll let me assign the individual addresses instead of the base plus 3. But the biggest thing is I think after this video and some newer developments, I'm going to start planning on redoing the west wall and the south wall for how the track is. Biggest reason is I found an 18-inch curve on another section over on the corner over there. I took it out, replaced it because I was having an issue with actually this train making that first boxcar like tilt, and then I found out I had an 18-inch curve. Well, I found another 18-inch curve right here, and I can't fix this one with how it is. Along with wanting to have the sidings to park trains on, with my trains getting longer, I've come to the conclusion that I need to start planning on redoing this wall, and that's going to make me have to redo this wall, or I want to redo this wall, which is fun because I wired it up, and now I'm going to unwire it and change out the track. But it'll help out for what I'm trying to do, and I'm gonna do that first, and then I've also kind of been pre-planning, I don't know, planning in general to come out of here and use the rest of the space in this room by probably making the main lines turn in here each direction, coming together with like 4 main lines sort of coming around that way, looping here, and putting a really big yard in here, and then a diamond or reversing T, whatever, on right here. Or that's at least what I've drawn out right now, or have drawn out, sketched out, whatever. Which will also allow me to add a few things that I've always wanted to do. I know I'm not planning on really doing a whole lot of scenery or anything, but I've always wanted a turntable. So I might, that'll give me the space for a turntable and a roundhouse for steam, and then a area for diesels to park them. So like storage, and then of course the big yard with a bunch of track to hold the larger trains. It's Christmas today. I got a bunch of intermodal cars that came in. I need more intermodal containers. I have a few that I want, but I got these to do what I want to do with this project, which is for another video. But that's going to wrap it up for this. So, and lastly, my laptop is in the shop, so I'm having to make this one on my phone, so please pardon that. But anyway, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, ask a question, and hopefully I'll try to respond. I usually try to respond to all of them. Again, Happy New Year, or Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hope Santa brought you whatever you want in either HO scale or Lego. Later.